Hello, so I was a little bored and I decided I'm going to listen to an album today that I've never listened to. My wife got it from Record Connection, my boy Jeff and his stacks of wax. I'm going to listen to an album by Queen called Innuendo. I know this might have been, I think it's the last full album they did with Freddie, I believe. So I've never heard the entire album. It's 180 gram vinyl. It's pretty cool, pretty glossy artwork here. Pretty festive back, as you can see, and this is super festive here. The inner sleeve, very festive, as you can see, and the lyrics are in here as well. So I'm going to listen through and just kind of tell you about what I think about each track. And if you have any comments or questions, send them to me. Let's see how it goes. The first track, Innuendo, the title track, is really cool. He's got this. There's this middle section that is really cool vocal break. It's very soaring. Dramatic. Brian May's guitars sound amazing here in the middle of the song. So yeah, I wasn't too into the song for the first 2/3 of it, but this middle break was pretty cool. Now it's going back to the standard part, but a cool way to start it. I found a little bit more about this while I was listening too. Apparently, this wasn't their last album with Freddie Mercury singing. It was the last one they released when he was alive. They released an album called Made in Heaven after he died, which I've heard a few tracks off of that. But yeah, this is so far. It's a good start to this album. I like the start, title track kicking it off, and pretty dramatic in the middle. So yeah, so far digging this album. Second track, I'm Going Slightly Mad, is not. I don't love it. It was released as a single, apparently the second single over in Europe, and yeah, it's got some dramatic Freddie little sprinkles in there. You know, the Freddie Mercury kind of like vocal ornations, but the song is kind of. I don't know. It just feels like filler track as far as Queen goes. So, so the second track not as enjoyable as Innuendo for sure. So I'm Going Slightly Mad, not great. The third song, Headlong, has lyrics like he used to be the man with a stick in his hand, hoop diddy diddy. She used to be the woman with a hot dog stand, hoop diddy diddy, hoop diddy do. You know what though? The guitar tone's kind of like almost like Judas Priest Breaking the Law style. I don't mind this song. It's got a little rock feel to it. It's a little more driving. So it's still not as good as the first track, Innuendo, but Headlong is good. I can get behind this song. It's definitely pretty driving, but it's cool. I dig it. Fourth track, I Can't Live With You, is it's pretty good. I mean, it's weird because it's like they're trying to do a bunch of different things. Like they have the arena rock thing at the beginning, the intro. The verse sounds like a Def Leppard song to me, but the chorus is catchy enough. And man, Brian May's solos on this album are spot on. He's really showing off here. But yeah, this feels like a Queen song. I Can't Live With You feels like it's got everything. It's got that arena rock kind of sing along thing going on. So this track is a standout so far too. Yeah, the next song, Ride the Wild Wind, is pretty terrible. I really don't like it at all. Nope. I gotta flip the record over. They ended that side with Ride the Wild Wind, which was yeesh. The solo was okay, but man, woo, that was a rough one. Okay, flipping the album over. Here we go. One more thing about that Ride the Wild Wind track. Apparently, it was written by Roger Taylor, the drummer of Queen. This is why drummers shouldn't write music, right? Anyway, it only charted in one country. It charted in Poland, and it hit #1. Okay. But now I'm on to All God's People, which is the first track on the second side, and this is much more promising. Has a really cool kind of ethereal feel to it. The vocals are very soaring. All God's People, a much better track, and a nice way to start the second side after the abortion that ended the last side. All God's People gets a thumbs up. Okay, These Are the Days of Our Lives is the track. I'm gonna rant a little bit about this one because I know this song. A lot of people know The Show Must Go On from this album, but this is the song I know. It's a video they did with Freddie Mercury, a music video where he was very frail. It was the last music video he did. You could tell he was sick. It was shot in black and white because he looked so bad. He was wearing like a cat sweater that his friend made for him. But These Are the Days of Our Lives is one of my favorite Queen songs. It doesn't sound like your typical Queen track, but it's just so haunting and beautiful and reflective. I think it was Freddie dealing with knowing that the end of his life was coming. So if you only hear one track from this album, These Are the Days of Our Lives is the one you need to hear. I'm listening to it now, but I've heard this song hundreds of times. I think it's absolutely beautiful, and it's one of Queen's best songs, in my opinion. Man, the solo on These Are the Days of Our Lives, too. This song is just so good. Really, you should stop listening to me. Go listen to it now. It's so good. I absolutely love it. Now, the next track, Delilah, is not very good either. After the heaviness of the song before, emotional heaviness, this song's kind of like lilty, and it's just not. It's very bouncy. He's singing about someone, and now he's meowing. Meow. It's a lot. It's a lot. So I don't know. Delilah's not doing much for me either, to be truthful with you. Just finished Don't Try So Hard. It's pretty all right. It's kind of an inspirational track. It's kind of somber, but I like it. The lyrics aren't too bad, and the music is fairly catchy. So Don't Try So Hard is pretty good. And we've already moved on to the Hitman, so we'll see how this goes. It sounds like more of a rocker already. Well, the Hitman is kind of like I'm Going Slightly Mad. Not in that this is much more of a rocker than the second song was, but it's kind of a throwaway track. I don't love it or hate it. The Hitman's just kind of there. It feels like a filler track to me. Some cool vocal flourishes here, and then another solo that's just sounding like it's on fire. But the Hitman sounds like kind of a throwaway track on this album to me too. And Hitman, Freddie Mercury just sang, "Are you ready for the sting?" So I don't know what that's all about. Bijou's kind of a very quick track, but it starts with some great synth and great guitar work, and then it's very brief. It's only like a minute long, but Bijou's was kind of enjoyable just because Brian May's guitar at the beginning mixing with the synth was cool. A nice key change there. The Show Must Go On is kind of an underrated Queen song, I think. The lyrics, "Inside my heart is breaking, my makeup may be flaking, but my smile still stays on. Whatever happens, I'll leave it all to chance." Like, he really is pouring it out here pretty good. It's the ending track on this album, which I think he knows may be his final. And so I think that this song is a strong way to finish the album. It feels powerful, and it's catchy. It's a good song too. So The Show Must Go On really ends the album on a strong note, I would say. It's great ender for an album. And that's it for this Queen album, Innuendo, which I got from the Record Connection recently, and I would say that if I had to give it a grade, I'm going to go with an 81%. I'm going to give this like a B/C. There's a few great songs, and The Show Must Go On I just haven't heard in a long time, but I forgot how good of a track that really is. And These Are the Days of Our Lives is my favorite on the album. But I think that there's just a few filler tracks. Freddie Mercury's vocal performances aren't bad. Brian May's guitar work is unbelievable. It's the strength of the album, I think, here. Which usually I thought Freddie was the strongest in the band, but on this album I think Brian really, maybe because Freddie wasn't feeling himself or anything. But yeah, and so yeah, go listen to it yourself, because it's just like, my opinion, man. So maybe you'll feel differently. Queen.